gentleman yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Fong, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for those who are here testifying. I want to thank you to you and your teams and your personnel for what you do. Commissioner Scott, you mentioned in your testimony, national security cannot exist without effective border security. Couldn't agree more. Everyone on your teams are doing tremendous work under difficult conditions, and I want to thank you all. I do want to ask and dive in a little deeper as a Californian on the dangers and the consequences of these sanctuary policies. Director Lyons, I was in the state legislature in 2017 when sanctuary state policies were put in California. I opposed SB 54 because at the time, and everything has proven to be true, it was outlined that the impact on ICE and Border Patrol agents was that there would be reduced information and access, agents would be conducting higher risk enforcement operations, and that there would be operational constraints when it comes to limiting cooperation between state and local law enforcement. I wanted to get your perspective, Director Lyons, and I'll go to you, Commissioner Scott, as well. Can you give specifics on how these sanctuary state policies impact your operations in real time compared to non-sanctuary operations?
Well, sir, for ICE, what I would I'll refer back to what we talked about earlier in my testimony, the fact that when state or local or county agencies don't cooperate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, it forces us to go back out to the community, which we don't want to do. It also increases the number of assets we have to put towards that arrest. Like I said earlier, I would much rather send 1 or 2 agents or officers to make that arrest in a safe, secure location rather than being out in the street. It's safer for everyone involved.
And before I go to you, Commissioner Scott, and answer, I just want to let everyone know, in California, and I think it was just reported a couple of days ago, there were currently 33,179 illegal aliens in the custody of California jurisdictions with active detainers. The crimes of these aliens include 399 homicides, 3,313 assaults, 3,171 burglaries, 1,011 robberies, 8,380 dangerous drug offenses, 1,984 weapon offenses, and 1,293 sexual predatory offenses. These are the real-world consequences, isn't that right, Commissioner Scott? When we don't have cooperation, they're released into the community?
Those are exactly the consequences. And I would just add, California specific, they went above and beyond everybody else. I mean, in a negative way. They prohibited state and locals when they saw a crime taking place in front of them from sharing that information with us. San Diego, for example, right after that law was passed, a highway patrol pulled over a U-Haul van, and it was a smuggling event, probably a human trafficking event. A Border Patrol agent just happened to roll up on it and found out, luckily. But that highway patrol was disciplined and actually investigated internally, and that sent a chilling effect across the entire state of California that not only can you not actively help us, you couldn't even pass information to us in a normal course of duties. Border security law enforcement's a team sport. We need to be working together, not against each other.
Now, can you explain what would have happened, and I think you alluded to it, but what would have happened prior to that if there was local and state coordination with federal law enforcement?
On a daily basis, especially along the southwest border, and let's not forget, and the coast, because we have boats coming in, when a state or local agency would see illegal activity that they could take action on, and then they saw a federal crime, they would contact us. It happened all the time, and that completely ceased to exist when SB 54 was passed.
And these crimes, of course, as you mentioned before, if you go into specifics, I mean, this is trafficking, both humans and drugs. This is rape, assaults. I mean, anything. You're telling me that if any of those crimes occurred, if right now in California, if someone witnessed it, if a state law enforcement or local law enforcement witnessed these crimes being committed, they could not notify you.
They have some felony exceptions, but in most cases, you don't know until you start asking questions if it's just a smuggling event or a human trafficking event. Until you actually pop the trunk of the vehicle or the back of the car, you don't know what commodity is back there, if it's people or something else. It put a chilling effect beyond the actual written language on any kind of cooperation in the state.
Well, I want to thank you for that. Yes, there were some exceptions when it comes to felonies, but someone who lives in California and was there for the discussion and debate, everything we warned about when it came to sanctuary state policies, and the consequences to our community and the consequences to public safety, they have come true. And that is sad and unfortunate, and we need to undo those policies. So I want to thank you all for your leadership and testimony and your work. Thank you, and Mr. Chairman, now you back.